What up, what up, what up, what up, do? What up, do? What's up, what's up? Shay and only says, let me say that again. Shay and only Shay said I can't stay, but will be part of the replay crew tomorrow. Okay, cool. What's up, Miss Monet? What's up, Tracy? Tracy said I love to toast. Listen, I do love to tussle. I do love to tussle because I do have my opinions about the things of the things of the things. Y'all, it is so ugly. Comments, take on the stage, who will appear on the screen during live stream. Keep the conversation going and make your audience part of the conversation. Girl, it's so tiny over here. Anyway, shout out to the 7 people. Shout out to the 7 people we got up in here. And I'm okay with it. All right, listen. So you guys know that we have what's up, baby girl 1981. What's up with you? What's going on? Tracy, I'm gonna drop the link if you got time, you come up and tussle with me. Plus, I'd rather hear you say your opinions too versus typing them, because typing them and they can come off a little different than saying them. So anyway, what the purpose of this live is to just kind of refresh everybody. We've had Cassie on the stand. We've had quite a few people on the stand who have testified in this Diddy trial. I will also hold on. Okay, let's see. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it this way. Yeah, oh, you want to tussle? Let me wrap my hair up in green. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Testified. Okay, hold on 1 second. this is not what I'm looking for. This is not what I'm looking for. Hold on one second, y'all. Um, all right. Hey, Miss Felicia. Yes, we are back. We are back. Girl, I was looking for a list of people who didn't testify. Girl, they over here talking about the rich people or the famous people that they didn't mention, like Rihanna, Usher, Neo, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, R. Kelly, Chris Brown, Mike Myers, Madonna, Jennifer Lopez, Leonardo DiCaprio. Well, I don't okay. Chadwick, but we're gonna let that man rest. Britney Spears, 50 Cent, Suge Knight. Child, we already knew all them people was mentioned off up in there. Okay, so now mm, hey, Miss Laquanda. Okay, here we go. This is a list of the people. All right, so just to refresh you guys' memory, we've had Cassie Ventura, Combs' former partner and girlfriend, who was also a key witness. Uh, Regina Ventura, which is Cassie Ventura's mother, who corroborated her daughter's claims. We had Brianna Bongalonga, a friend of Cassie Ventura, who testified about the incident involving Sean P. Diddy Combs. We had Kid Cudi, the rapper who briefly dated Cassie Ventura, who testified about the alleged threats and the setting of the car on fire. Don Richard, um, former member of Danny the Kane, and who testified, and girl, her testimony didn't go all that well. Then we had Carrie Morgan, who is also a friend of Cassie Ventura's, the best friend of Cassie Ventura. At one point, they haven't talked since 2018. We have Malia Morales, who was a former makeup artist who testified about seeing Ventura with injuries. We had David James, who was the former assistant of Combs, who testified. We had George Kaplan, um, who worked for Combs. Also, he had immunity. We had Daniel Phillip, who was the first former male escort. We had Sheree Hayes, or how do you say his name? Hayes, who was the Punisher. He testified as well, and he's still been out here talking like a big girl. We had Capricorn Clark, who has also testified, former assistant. We had Derek Ferguson, who was the former chief of finance officer for Combs, and we had Eddie Garcia. We missing a couple people on this list too. We've had a couple people missing on this list. We got Mia missing on here. We have, of course, Jane Doe, because Jane Doe is currently testifying at this very moment. So yeah. Anyway, girl, okay, listen, the people can't be mad because y'all, I just literally put in Diddy on here. 56 questions. Or 50 Cent says that Jane Doe is Daphne Joy in the Diddy sex trafficking trial. And that's on yahoo.com. He put that up there, and them people had already caught that stuff. Good luck. Okay, hold on. Let me get my what's the name? So y'all have heard my opinion all week. So I'm giving this moment for you guys to either tussle with me about my opinion or um just tell me what your opinion is, period. So give me 1 second, and I'm getting ready to um Drop the link again. You ain't got to show your face, but I just need to know you real backstage. And then if y'all don't come up here, girl, I'm gonna cut this short. Cause baby, I'm right back at it on Monday. I'm right back at it on Monday. Ain't no reason for me to be around here. Again, y'all done heard my opinion on it. So yeah. Y'all got something you wants to say. You can come on up. Come on up. Lisa Wu, Deshaun Snow, and Sheree Whitfield are together. She said, respect the OGs. Okay. Y'all are the OGs. You can't even lie about that. Y'all are the Real Housewives of Atlanta OGs, honey. They said we're calling Portia OG. Portia is not an OG. Portia is a vet. Portia is a vet out here in these streets, not a OG. Hopefully I spoke to everybody. Jasmine, did I speak? Hey, Jasmine. Miss Lori, how you doing? Oh, oh, get over there. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Let's see here. Chef DonDon. Oh, girl. Now what I will say is Jane Doe is still on the stand right now, and everybody that I'm hearing recap this, they say she got really emotional. Courtroom got emotional. For me, I still stand by what I stand by. My opinion of her could change once the defense presents their side of things. But as far as me, I feel like Jane Doe, I feel like there was some manipulation there. I get all of that. But something about that man still paying your rent that just don't sit right with me. That's it. Somebody that man still paying your rent just don't sit right with my soul or my spirit. My spirit man says, why? Why? And you've been knowing you was gonna testify against him. Do y'all think it could be a possibility that Diddy could feel betrayed by her? Because if she's been a Jane Doe, of course he didn't know she was testifying. So do y'all think he feels some type of way about her testifying now? Baby, I believe them jail calls, they need to get them jail calls. I know he over there calling KK right now. He over there, I meant to put KK up here. He over there calling KK right now, telling KK, don't pay Garden Ridge Apartments. I mean, she in the house, but don't pay that house note. Don't pay that rent this month, next month, or any months going forward. I know he probably be punching in the air after trial every day. What's up, Twin Flames? How you doing? I know he feels some. Yeah, I think so too, Lasso. I feel like, what's up, Gigi? I feel that way too. I do. Yeah, and KK stopped payment on all her ish. Okay, lights off, gas off, water off, rent ain't paid. I just know that he probably felt betrayed. I don't think, of course, I don't think that man knew she was testifying. Why would he? Why would he? So I don't know. But this whole thing, it's crazy to me. This whole thing is crazy to me. When it comes to Capricorn Clark, like, actually, when it comes to all of these assistants and stuff, like I always feel a certain way about these assistants. Y'all stood back, especially KK. KK, you stood back, you participated, you strung these women along, you strung these escapades along. You did all these things. So KK, I don't feel no ways tied by KK. Mm-mm. After the things that I heard about KK, I am done with KK. Let's pull up Diddy's indictment while we up here. Which one I want to pull up? Let's pull up this one. Oh, y'all. I got somebody up here who want to tussle a little bit, honey. It wants to tussle a little bit. Can you hear me? Wait, can y'all hear Tracy?
Um,
Oh, there you go. I can hear you now.
you just want to tussle with me so bad.
Listen, I just want to know
Me.
what you feeling because I need to hear it verbally, honey. I need to hear it verbally. It'd be different to type it, but verbally, I wants to hear it.
Okay, so let me say this clearly before people start dragging me in the chat. Okay, I'm a New Yorker. I've moved a lot. I've done a lot, but I'm a New Yorker. So for me, things are very um. I look at it like, what are you getting out of this? What is your angle? Because nobody does anything for nothing. That that is my standard way of looking at everything in life. That's just how I was raised, right? So this is what that is. So when everyone is saying like, oh, these assistants, let's take Capricorn for instance, right? There's no way that you could tell me on your first day of work, this joker threatened your life, and then you kept going to work for them, and then you surprised when anything else happens. Excuse me, what? Absolutely not. See, you continue to go there because you wanted something out of this. And now it could be a job, it could be money, it could be prestige. Because I'll tell you right now, it's not just that they needed a job, they needed a job with that level of celebrity attached to that lifestyle, attached to that level of money, which is a personal choice, which is different, right? Because everybody keeps saying, like, oh, they couldn't do anything else. They could. That was a personal choice. People switch career paths all the time. They didn't
But
want to.
wait,
People
okay,
leave their
can I
dreams.
challenge you then?
Yes, go ahead, please. Please.
Okay, so looking at it from that perspective, I do understand that it's a choice, right?
Mhm.
But do I go from working for this high-powered nigga to then like putting hot dogs in hot dog buns? Or because my thoughts are is that again, I agree with what you're saying, right? But I'm saying like, do you downsize, or do you go from something that large to something so small? And I'm not saying all jobs up underneath that are small. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying, like, how would you approach that? Because I get it. Granted, you can do whatever, but then we're also talking about a man who has contact with all these people. I don't know what you may be telling these people. I go to a job interview and they literally tell me to leave Diddy alone. So that's my question. Like, how do you approach it
Okay.
that way?
So, like, was he paying her a lot? No, $60,000 is not a lot of money. But if you're also covering the person's rent, you're covering their car, you're covering their expenses, like you're living in company corporate housing, like, okay, that is definitely, things that you factor into that increases what that actual job value is, right? 60K before taxes isn't a lot here. Like it's just not a lot of money here. I'm gonna be honest. Like some other places it is, right? But here it just isn't, right? So then So that's one thing. But because you don't have to pay for housing, you're not paying for a car. All of those things are covered by the company. It helps, right? So when you think about it, it's 60K. When you're thinking of the 60K, you're like, okay, well, that's 60K. I'm only paying for stuff for me, right? And it's
Right.
like, okay, cool. And wow, not New York. Shit, Capricorn was in New York City. That's where Capricorn was. The other girl wasn't. Like, I'm getting distracted by chat. Anyway, so when we go, where's the extra 25K coming from? Like, never mind. So when we go and we kind of put that all together and we say, okay, this is what what the person was getting, what the person's doing, blah 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 blah. You can live in New York City off 60K if you don't have to pay rent or for a vehicle, because
Right.
that's the most expensive thing in the city. It's you covering where you live. If he's paying for if he's paying for you to live there, then she said Diddy pay, like, the company paid her rent, not a portion of her rent, not a percentage of her rent. She lived in company housing. So the business owned the housing. That's where she lived. So she didn't pay anything
Right.
based off of what I'm seeing, right? So it wasn't a portion of it, it wasn't some of it. Like 25K is if the company is covering housing. That where okay, you know what? I'm getting distracted. Let me get back over here. So your question was for me, where do I find a difference, right? I find the difference in saying, could I go from making 65K a year with my housing and stuff being covered to working at McDonald's making $22 an hour, right? That's kind of the question, like, because that literally is what it was. That industry that she was working in is so small that if you get a bad name, it pretty much tarnishes you from that industry, right? That's just like you. If you're a chef in
Yeah.
Dallas, right? If you get something bad attached to your name, right? It's going to be so hard for you to be able to be a chef in Dallas, right? You like,
Right.
because that industry is so small, the once something gets stuck to you, it's gonna follow you, and it basically is gonna ruin you from doing that. So the statement then turns into, oh, okay, can you a leave New York and do this someplace else for someone else and do a career change outside of New York? Or could you leave that industry altogether and go to something else? Because let's be clear, there's multiple industries in the city that follow this same MO that isn't music, right? The fashion
True.
industry is the exact same way. So there's other industries that have that small, tight knit community of people. And if you get a bad name, you pretty much can't go anywhere else, right? So
Right.
the statement is, are you able to give up this, change career paths and do something else? Some people say they can't because this is what I love and this is what I want to do. That is then a choice, right? You're choosing to say, I can't because this is what I love. You can, you don't want to. That there's a difference. So then it turned into, you knew what you were getting yourself into, because if your first day was crazy, I've never known a job where it don't get worse the longer you're there. Like that's just not normal in any job, right? Any regular job, your first couple days is normally the easiest anywhere you go, right? You're in that entry level training process, and normally the first is going to be the easiest, right? After
Mhm.
that, you tend to get into the crazier and crazier. Think about any place you worked, right? Isn't that normally how that works? The first couple days, first week, 2 week, easy, and then it just progressively gets crazier, and then you choose to leave, you choose to stay, you choose to whatever, you get fired, whatever happens, and you
Right.
kind of move on. So then it turns into that. So it's like, if your first day was absolutely bonkers and someone threatened your life, what we doing?
Now I agree with that. Like you threatened me on my first day. I'm not staying. Like I'm not staying. But I do feel like sometimes, like I agree that it can be a choice, right? But then I also think that with certain people, you do get so comfortable, and again, it's a choice at the end of the day. And IPV, to answer your question, I don't think I put this on the community wall, but I will. Um, but to piggyback off of that, like I get, you being able to get another job, I get that. But then all of the things that came with you being at this particular place, like you said, right? Your rent is paid, your car is paid. You don't have to worry about those things. Um, because maybe, and again, I think it comes with time, but you are afraid to leave because you like, yo, where am I gonna be? Like, how am I gonna do this? What you know what I'm saying? Again, I get it that eventually it becomes like oh, you gotta step, like T.S. Matheson would say, step your pussy up. But anyway, you would kind of have to step up and want to do that, which I get. But then on the flip side of that, like I do see where some of them may have felt like, yo, do I have a life outside of this? In a sense of, am I going to be able to keep up with bills? Am I going to be able to keep up with a place to stay? Am I going? Because then you got to do everything on your own at that point. You know,
But
I
isn't
don't
that
know.
normally how it is for being an
I
adult?
mean, it is. But I'm just saying, like, I think I think if we was working for, and I can't speak for everybody, right? But if I was working for, let's just take the hitting on the first day out, because we've already established that we would have bounced. Okay, so like, let's just take that piece out. But adding the fact of all the other stuff that may have happened, like I get it. Eventually, I would have got sick of it. I'm gone. But I don't know. Like I just feel like sometimes some of these people are like, what we witnessed or what we've heard is that they were stagnant and they couldn't. They probably could have, but they couldn't. I don't know how to. I don't know how to put it. I'm kind of saying like, I ain't saying they being lazy. I ain't saying none of that. I'm just saying like maybe mentally they just couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them couldn't switch, like turn that switch. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I'm not saying everybody at
Yep.
all. I'm just saying like maybe mentally they couldn't turn that switch to be like, yo, this is the life that you need to live outside of this so you can walk away from this man who is doing whatever he's doing to you. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
No, I understand, right? And I do look at each person differently, right?
Right.
I look at each person on their own to kind of say, like, okay, how do I see this situation for this person? How do I see this situation for this person? So I don't look at everybody with the same blanket and say, Diddy was terrible to this person. So all of them, like, no. Because
Right.
one
Because
thing I
I'm with
know,
you on that, especially with this Jane Doe.
because one thing I realize is, and that's what a lot of people, the person you get with this person is not the person someone else will get from that person. That is the norm for people, right? There is very far few in between that you find a person that is the same person with every single body. Most
Right.
people are, and you can even think about with your exes. Things that you did with one ex is not things that you did with another ex. It wasn't even an option. There wasn't, you know what I mean? Because that's where you were with this person, your comfort level, how you felt, things that are going on. Even with your friends. I have friends that I will vacation with, and then I have friends that I would never leave the city with.
But that even works
I
like
love them down.
that's even with family. Like, I
Mhm,
have some siblings that I'm really, really close to. I have
mhm,
some siblings that I only talk to maybe once a week. I have some I talk to every day. I have a bunch of siblings, by the way, but some I talk through the week, some I don't hear from unless they need something.
mhm,
Like, so I totally get that piece. Like, you can't view everybody the same. That's why I have the opinion on the Jane Doe that I have, because I don't know, girl. Like, just from the beginning of that, you just was like, what the heck? And again, with Capricorn Clark, right? Like, wasn't Capricorn Clark working with Biggie?
Suge Knight.
I mean,
And
Suge Knight, my bad,
and
not
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Biggie.
whoa. And that was back when she was working with Def Jam and freaking Russell Simmons. And we know the charges, the things Russell Simmons got going on with him. So let me think about this. You were working with a man. who has SA charges and is in Bali getting away from the United States. You work for a man who's in prison for unaliving somebody. And there's multiple people that everybody knew Suge was unalive a little bit of anybody, everybody. He had multiple things that they were looking at him for, still for unaliving people.
Right.
Then you went to Diddy. I'm sorry, girl. Something about your track record tells me you is not this sweet, soft, innocent victim like you claiming. Because how you come from both of those two backgrounds and act like some over there, you witnessed nothing, did nothing, heard nothing. Everything was. It don't make no sense, right? Like just
Yeah, I do
logically,
agree.
it don't make no sense. So it's one thing when you are green, fresh out of school, you don't know no better, nothing happened, you have no life experiences. And I think that's where like I differ for some people because I'm like, life experiences matter. Like, yeah, she was young, like, oh, she had graduated from school, she had did whatever. Okay, fine. But you work for this person with some SA cases, and multiple people said that they did. So, okay, there was something there.
It was
And
20
then
plus
Suge.
women.
Look. And then we got Suge. And let's be clear, his reputation precedes him.
Right.
So, I, you want me to believe that this is the first time you ran into somebody who ain't got it all, ain't right, doing crazy stuff, but you was able to leave these two, but you wasn't able to leave this one. And when we think back in the day, Def Jam was just as big as Bad Boy back then.
Right.
So you were working for these high caliber people that were all on this same level. Yeah. So is the problem that you tapped out of people to work for? Because why did you leave Def Jam? Why did you leave Suge? Like what happened there? You see what I mean? Like, did you tap out of people to be able to work for from that caliber?
And I also don't believe that. Hey to you, Miss Janetta. How you doing?
Hi. Am I? Oh, okay, wonderful. Okay, so I guess my questions, I look at it a little bit differently from everyone else because I'm a lawyer. So I'm looking at what actually the law and how they establish the facts that they match the law. So for me, I'll
Mhm.
be honest. I agree. I think the Jane Doe, I kind of felt like she's a gold digger. I do believe that's possibly Daphne Joy. She's used to connecting herself with wealthy men. However, I think her testimony was powerful in proving their case. She's essentially a I don't know what I can say on YouTube, an ex worker. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that's against federal law. So they did establish that. She testified that they brought in workers and paid them. And also, she was paid to partake in these activities, which I don't want to delve in too deep into because it's disgusting. But she was paid, her rent was paid. And basically, she established that if she didn't engage to do what he wanted to do with these hotel nights, that her rent wouldn't get paid. So she's pretty much, and then also goes back to the Lil Rod lawsuit. I think they kind of pieced together these lawsuits to put this case together, quite frankly, because Lil Rod called her out as well. He called a couple of people out, not just her, as being workers that engage in that kind of work. So, and then going back to Capricorn Clark, yeah, she has some questionable, I guess, past or who she's worked with, but I guess for me, does that mean we don't believe her? Because I still believed her testimony, because it was corroborated by, was it Lil, Kid Cudi and some of the others? So,
I believe her. I am like with Tracy on this one. Like I do question like
I
this
mean,
man, this
quite
man
frankly,
did something on your first day. Your first day. Like this man took you to the park in the dark. Allegedly. This is what she said. He took you to the park in the dark with his security out there. You had never worked with him before. That would frighten me. Like, oh, baby, it would be a no go for me at that moment because, again, like, and then, which I don't believe Capricorn Clock when she says that she didn't know anything about Suge and Diddy's beef. I don't believe that.
I don't
I
see
believe
how she
every
possibly couldn't have known.
right. That's what I'm saying.
No,
Like, you was working for him. I don't really believe that you didn't know that didn't have beef.
it,
So
Question.
so
yeah, I think those are the questions about. I mean, with Capricorn Clark, I do believe what she was saying, like in her testimony. I just feel like yep. No, one of his assistants, I can't remember who was it Mia? Somebody he interviewed in his underwear. I don't know if it was
In
So
Capricorn.
his
I can't
I
remember.
underwear. I
have
just
so
oh go
many
ahead. I'm sorry.
I have so many questions, right? I got so many questions. And I guess this is the logical piece of my brain catching in, right? So so when they said like, "Oh, he did interviews for people in his underwear," if I am an assistant and my job is to wake you up in the morning, make sure you get showered, make sure you eat, make sure your schedule is done, and do all, and basically I am doing all the minor details in your life so you don't have to do them, because that's really what these people were doing, right? And all of them said it, like, our job was to wake him up in the morning and do everything for him so he didn't have to do anything. And then, to the end of his day. I was like, that is the job of an assistant, right? Like, that is a assistant's job. Now, if you in your house in your underwear, I mean, I'm in my house in my underwear. I mean, there's some parts of it for me get a little sticky where it's like, this is also the job you signed up for, because you coming into somebody's house to wake them up. Some people sleep butt booty ball naked.
Oh,
I mean, that's just some people and what and how they do. Like, so you gonna tell the person that they can't sleep? To me, it just get a little sticky. But back to kind of where you're saying that the current Jane Doe kind of proved the case, and she's an ex-worker. If the Jane Doe herself came out and said, "I am not an S worker. This is my partner, and my partner pays my rent, or my partner gives me X amount of money a month," is that like I this is where things get a little blurry for me, right?
It's
Where
it's actually
I
not blurred legally, but I see your point. The jury is not going to be lawyers, but I see your
sure
point.
ain't.
But legally, you just have to make sure the jury understands the law. But the law is what it is. I used to work with DV victims years ago, and they would call and say, "I'm not a victim, whatever." But we went by what the definition of that was. If he's snatching stuff off of you and pushing you around, I mean, is a waltz like a duck? It's waltz like a duck.
Mhm.
So whether who wants to, she thought she was a girlfriend, but anyone, no, it's obvious that she was just a worker. So, but yeah, I can see how the jury would, they would just have to make sure the jury understands the law. But she was what she was, unfortunately for her.
So when does it go from being a worker to a girlfriend? Like, what is that defined jump?
I mean, the law is what she was paid to engage in those activities. That's what she was. He had multiple girlfriends. In her mind, she may have thought she was a girl. I mean, just she doesn't seem too bright. So when I'm not trying to, but she doesn't seem to like she's all together. So the law is going to be based off what a reasonable person mindset anyway. So we're not going to go by what just a person that may not all be together think, oh, well, I was a girlfriend or whatever. They'll just have to do, I think that would present some challenges for the government. Like, yeah, she's saying she's a girlfriend. And so, yeah, jurors may buy that because it's about the jury's opinion. Again, they're not going to be lawyers. They're going to be people like you that think like you. They're not going to think like me. So that will present a challenge. But me looking at the law and interpreting the law, she's definitely described something that's against the law, which is trafficking. Her testimony established the trafficking charge. But yeah, you're right though. The jury may have some questions, just like you.
Because I'm like, so would Cassie be a girlfriend or just a worker? Because I'm
Probably.
trying to
I'll go
like,
ahead.
so I think this is where like stuff for me is, um, how can I
Go
say this?
ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
I want to make sure I'm saying this
Oh, okay.
appropriately for the
Me too.
situation.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait. Before you go there, okay, this may sound so dumb, y'all, but does it make a difference that Cassie is almost like she had? Well, also Jane Doe said that she had a contract too, a love contract.
I mean, the love contract itself sounds dumb to me, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. She said that they have a love contract. Remember when she said that they
mhm.
negotiated on how much she was supposed to get a month.
Yeah,
Like, I
it's
know Cassie ain't testified to nothing like that, but
contracts like that is normal in like polyamorous relationships. A lot of them do it,
but
and
I
the
guess what I'm saying is
BDSM
like,
world
does
have a
that
lot of
does
contracts for their relationships.
Oh, see, I didn't know. I don't know a lot about polyamory. I have a friend in California, but he doesn't really give me all the details. I just don't really know. I didn't know about the contracts. But for me, for her to say that, it just kind of formed my opinion as to her not being so bright. So, if there's something people that, because I don't think people are, not bright because they're engaged in polyamory. So I just, that was one of the factors for me that it just sounded kind of strange. It don't sound like something adults would do, like mature adults. They're too old for this. But I think the whole is, if and just say that this person is Daphne
You
Joy.
like
How old is she?
30, 33?
37?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's getting up there. That's getting close to 40. I mean, I'm 43, so that's kind of, it sounds
I mean,
silly to
I'm
me.
just like so. I think for me, I struggle with where, and again, I'm going to be open. I have never been, luckily, a victim of DV or SA. So
Oh
my
shit.
thought
They said she's
processes,
38.
yeah, my thought processes come from a space of I, sh- I haven't experienced it. So because I haven't experienced it, I don't look at it the same way as somebody who maybe has, if that makes sense. Right. So
Oh, that
I
makes
always,
perfect sense.
yeah,
I
so
mean, I
I
used to
always
work
try
with
and,
DV victims, and they trained us, basically just they're gonna go back 9 times when they finally get tired. And I'll be honest, for me, it was very frustrating when they would just decide they want to dismiss their case. Because a lot of times when they come back, the second case was, the aggressor was smarter, and they made sure we didn't have any audio or anything that them actually.
hello, is it me?
Oh, I thought it was me. I was like,
Oh,
child, what's going on
I
with
thought it was me too. So, look,
my
I'm not saying like, and the reason that I'm asking for these clarifications is because I'm not saying that um people around me are known for not being the most emotionally available and looking at things very black and white and very like eh which is it's not right, but like that's the first thing my mind goes to, right? So it's like, oh bam, which is why I ask questions, because I be wanting to know, because okay, um I need that little help, that little clarification. So I do hope that they also explain things to the jury in a way, because if you ask me, even swap ain't no swindle. If if you tell me, oh, 10K a month and I'm your on-call girlfriend, to me, and even swap ain't no swindle. I don't begrudge people who use their body to make money, but that's me, right? Does that make it legal? No. But does it matter to me? No. Like, I'm not going to be prone to be like, oh, well, there. No, it doesn't matter to me the way some other people see it. And I'm like, it's illegal. It's so different for me. So that's why I'm like, if if he paid her this to do this and she knew what it was and was willing to do this, I mean, if that is the case, then lots of people are going to have problems, especially here. Lots of people are going to have problems because there are lots of those types of situations going on. Does it make it? Apparently, it does not make it right, but that is very common, which is where I struggle, right? So I'm like,
and I do see the point of not being so bright because hold on. I do get the point of not being so bright because like girl, you like okay, you met the man. and you met the man, you only met the man because your friend took you. And again, your friend knew who you was. Your friend knew you was your friend knew you was a one of them. Okay. She took you to this party. You met this man. You lied to your friend when your friend asked you, did y'all have something going on? You lied to your friend and y'all left the event abruptly, right? Again, this was your friend's man at the time, whoever your friend was. Okay. And by the way, I do think the timeline makes a difference between Jane Doe and Cassie and the other ones. And the reason why I say that is because Cassie started in the early, in the early 2000s, 2008. This girl started dating him in 2021. Okay. So, um,
Can I? You know who I would have loved to hear from?
yeah, y'all, please just put Jane Doe.
Yes.
I
Just
just think
put
all
Jane.
of that is crazy. But yeah, y'all just please put Jane Doe because I don't know why. I think it is so weird what they're doing over there in the courts because it's all over everywhere. Like, why y'all just fixated on YouTube? Like, it's all over TikTok, all over the blogs, in every magazine article you find. It's there. It's everywhere. So I don't understand why they just targeting YouTubers. But anyway, go ahead.
Because
You want
because
to say something?
the courts is slower to catch on and pick up. So the fact that they even talk about YouTube is big because they're starting to catch up with like social media trends. So it's different. But so I understand, especially with this one, everyone saying like, oh, you can see it in her situation that she was a willing participant in something that was illegal, right? And that's where I struggle at with things because when you are a willing participant of something, mm, bu-
Well, see, the thing is, she, like you said, the fact that she was involved in something illegal, that proves that something illegal took place. So that's all they really care about. I mean, it's people that participate in, if we go out and sell some drugs together, and I go and snitch on you, the same thing, pretty much. Yeah, yeah, there'd be reason to question my credibility. Oh, I'm just telling on you so I can get out, but if they have some independent evidence and I'm just kind of strengthening the case. So it's just, a lot of people are putting pieces together to this puzzle. And the fact that, okay, well, she was a part of it. Yes, she was engaged in illegal activity. A lot of them were. But the important thing is, are they telling the truth? And is there a crime here? Did they meet the government meet the burden of proof? And so that's pretty much all they have to care about, really and truly.
okay.
But again, it goes back to jury understanding that.
See, I think this is where it gets different, right? So where it gets a little sticky for me, right? I hear you saying that what they did was illegal. I heard that part, right? But in
Yeah,
my mind, those are two consenting adults who agreed to do something with each other,
they
and
agreed to do
whatever
something that
they
was against the law.
correct. So,
Yeah.
but to me, that does not then make her an ex worker, right? And I think that's where I struggle a little bit, and a lot of people struggle a little bit, especially when it comes to her, is if these two,
Here.
because if they are in a relationship, right? If they are truly in a relationship and my man pays my bills and we are in a committed relationship,
Well, they definitely not committed, so they established all the other
no,
girlfriends, so they sure
no,
they weren't
because
committed.
she's committed to him. He's committed to all the other people he with. Like, so that's real normal in that type of lifestyle. She's
I
committed
see
to
what
him.
you're saying. It is
Like,
very normal. Yeah.
yeah, she's committed to him. He's committed to
The
her
streets.
and the 19 other people that may be in his orbit, right? But so the statement of to her, like, I am in a relationship with this person. I understand that this person has other people because she's admitted she knows that he's dating other people and she's okay with it. If my man pays my bills, that automatically then means that I am a ex worker, like a lady of the night. And that's the part where it's like, If I sleep
Well,
with you now, I'm a like that's where it's like, wait, then a lot of people are
But wait. He also did tell her, and I don't know if this matters. He also told her if she didn't participate, he wasn't gonna pay nothing for her.
yeah,
that's
he
what I
gave
was
her
just
three
getting
months.
to.
But
Yes,
that's just
that's what
like
I'm just
but
getting
no, but
to.
it wasn't but he
That's
said he
coercion
didn't want
too.
but he said if you don't want to do this, then we can't do this and you have 3 months. What's the difference in that between you break up with somebody and you gotta move or you gotta do whatever? Because so because she doesn't want to do this anymore and he's like, well, then you're not the person for me, and that's going to end. He said she said, oh, he would give me 3 months to pay
3 months
for 3 months.
is nothing with 10 K. Yeah, because I believe this Jane Doe was a social media influencer, and you know how social media works. If you're not appearing on social media, you kind of lose traction, and so whatever money she was making, she's not gonna automatically be able to jump right back to it. So she was so wrapped up in what she was doing with him, so she didn't have time to pursue her own like money maker endeavors. So she became to rely on him over time. So she needed him to keep a roof over her head. So when you have somebody, oh, if you don't do this, you're basically not gonna have anywhere to live. You're gonna lose your roof over your head. That's coercion, and it is sex work. I mean, it's
So
work, or whatever. You exchanging a roof over your head for making him happy and
so
And
him
bringing
getting
also
his
up
too,
activities.
I truly believe, and this is just my belief based on what she's saying now. I don't think that she would have kept going as far with Diddy had Diddy not offered that $10,000 in the first place. Like when he offered that, let's get to know each other. Let's go on this trip. We go on this trip for 5 days. I ask you how much money you think you have missed from your work, and you say $10,000. I feel like that's when, and I'm sorry if y'all don't agree with this, but I feel like that's when her antennas went up, and it was like, oh, okay, now I can see where this thing is going. I got somebody like this. This was your friend's man. We not gonna forget that. This was your friend's man. I feel like once he offered that, it gave her and again, you don't gotta agree with me, but I feel like her antennas went up, and I feel like these were her intentions from the beginning. And then once they start going along, coasting along the way, and once he start providing for her, not only did he pay her rent, but when she got ready to move clean from to LA, he paid for the movers, he paid for her he paid for her, he gave her some money to get some furniture, but then also still additionally pay for the furniture outside of that. So like I feel like she once he was like, yo, I'm gonna give you this $10,000. What we gonna do after this? Let's come up with a love contract. Do you want how much do you want a month? Or how much do you think you deserve more? I don't think the love contract came to after they start having the freak offs. But anyway, my point was I feel like as soon as she went in there, I feel like she went in there with a motive. I do.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree. I mean, I feel like she's a gold digger. I'm gonna be honest. I do. But I don't think she signed up for that, all of that. But I
Right.
do
Now
think
that
she
I was
was a,
again
yeah,
getting
I
ready.
do think hands down, she's definitely a gold digger. She was looking for an opportunity, and fortunately, she got. So he played her. He set her up for the okie doke.
well,
You better leave these
well,
crazy folks alone.
wait. So I have a question. So if according to her, he asked her what she liked, what she wouldn't like, what she do, what she wouldn't do, blah 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 blah, and walked her down when they was watching corn together. Walked her down the thing, and she walked herself like a little sheep right down into the wolf's path. Right. So then he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, here it is," and presented it there. Then the put up or shut up moment came, and she decided to put up. This is where I'm like, I don't see the coercion in this. I don't see the force, because to me she's a scammer. She's like any traditional scammer out here that I know, where she just got played, as you said, harder than the other one did. Like He played
Well,
her.
the coercion comes in when he basically holds the roof over her head, and versus being homeless, or you do what I want you to
So
do, and then there's the
Because
other things
the three
details
months
they went
came the
into it too.
first time. The
so
three
he
months was
didn't.
the first time. The second time she said she was tired of it via text message. That's when he told her, "Well, I'm not paying for your rent. I'm not paying your rent. I'm not paying nothing for you. Not paying nothing for you. So if this is what you want to do, step your game up, or we going what's about to happen." So I do want to be clear about that. That was the whole 3 months thing came like after they started doing the freak offs for like a month. It wasn't
Yeah.
very
So
long at all.
so but that's my point. They were doing it. This happened. They chose whatever. They broke up, and she came back to do it again, and then whatever else happened. So I'm still on the first part of their interactions of
Me
the
too.
thing, right? So I'm still on the first part where I'm over here like, if someone tells you what it is that they want, right? If they tell you up front what it is that they want, and you agree to something, I'm not seeing the coercion here when I told you what it is that I wanted and you agreed to it. Now, I could understand like later on when you decided you didn't want to do anything, but according to her, they were dating, they were in a relationship. If their relationship ends, is he then required to continue to pay her bills? Because like this is where it gets to me a little gray and a little fuzzy because if we then break up, how is he required to still pay her bills because this happened, or can he say I'm not paying this no more because we done, like, or is that not like this is where I'm struggling just based off of her words.
She just pretty much said that the first time he told her you don't want to do this, and then the rugs were included as well. You don't want to do this, you don't want to have these hotel fun nights, then I'm going to stop providing for you. And then you're right, she did go back. She not only went back once or twice, she went back a couple times because the time where she was up in New York for her birthday, he spent he spent the birthday with the city girl. He did that, right?
Hmm?
She upset. She didn't set up this freak off, or she didn't set up this freak off to happen. He not even there. Then you get upset with with her because she didn't feel in some type of way. She decides to go back even after you threatened to no longer pay her rent, no longer fund her life. You waited until after that moment. Like you were the dude in the wrong. You were in the wrong, right? Like and I'm only saying that like because you should have been there. It was her birthday, right? I'm saying like he didn't do that. He told her at that point, I will no longer pay for anything. Then she decided after that, oh, well, are you really that mad at me? Well, let me go back, let me run back over here. And my thing with her too is you knew that he was messing with this girl because you said you saw it on the Instagram, right?
Hmm?
4 days later, 4 days later, because you wanted a trip to Turks and Caicos, is why you decided to go back.
Oh, a trip to Turks and Caicos is not worth all of that foolishness. I mean,
She
I
said that
never.
was her dream destination. That was her dream destination. He wasn't there for her actual birthday because he was spending birthday with the city girl.
Did he take her to
Then
to Turks and Caicos? I think he took her. He took
he took
Carisha, didn't
he
he?
took yeah, he took her first, but that's where the Jane Doe wanted to go for her dream trip. And
Oof.
then he took her after he took the other girl on the trip. She was okay with all of that because that's what she wanted to do. If this man don't show up and spend my birthday with me, and I think that this is my man, I set up these freak offs with you, I do all these things, but then you don't show up for me, girl, I'm not going to no Turks and Caicos with you. Listen, find the trip or I'm not going. I'm not going on no trip with you, and you just did that. You just played me.
Yeah.
And see,
If
just
I'm
because
spending
she
all these
thought she was
things,
a, oh, okay.
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no. I'm sorry. Just because she thought she was a girlfriend, don't mean she was a girlfriend. She was definitely not a girlfriend. At all. She was someone that he used for, well, he paid to do a service, essentially. So yeah, you and then in those facts you just described that it was her birthday and he made her engage in, that kind of thing, the hotel nights, and then he took someone else to the the islands. That's all that is just showing that she's not anybody he cared about. She was not his boyfriend. He was not her boyfriend. So, and really, I don't think they really had to show that. I think it's as simple as, I'm sorry, what's the other lady name?
Tracy.
It's simple. Yeah, Tracy. It's simple as what Tracy said. She admitted to engaging in a crime. She named him as being there. It's just that simple. A lot of times with the federal law, it's kind of straight to the point, and it's kind of easier to prove. That's why the feds have such a high conviction rate, actually, because just like, for example, you say mail fraud. All you had to do is show that someone, basically, I took a bribe from someone, and I used the mail system, mail them back to me, and then they would be able to prove that I did it.
Uh-oh, is my thing doing this again?
No, that I thought the same
To
thing.
just to
Okay,
have sex with her. Some of those laws are kind of straightforward, and I don't think there's man at charge, but the trafficking charge, pretty much all they have to show is you transported these women across state lines to engage in sexual activity. And there's testimony they were in Miami, they were in California, they were in all these different places. They got these hotels, and he essentially paid her because if she was around to have her rent paid. And so she had to do these things in exchange. So they pretty much established that. I mean, I guess all the other salacious details are necessary to just kind of paint the picture so the jury and just, I guess, most people will understand, the pressure that was put on these people, because I think most of us, like, we can't relate to this, and I haven't been around billionaires like that to know, I've never been in this position, and I just can't relate to letting somebody abuse me in that way, or being abused in that way. Not that they allowed it, but we just can't relate to this stuff. So they have to basically tell the story, get all this testimony out, and at the end they're gonna tie it together with a closing argument, and that's gonna be really interesting. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much. They've established their case. Now they'll just have to make sure the jury understands the law and not get so distracted by those things. But they've established their case.
Mm, I don't know. This is really interesting to me. You are like, I feel like this whole thing, because again, I told y'all I've been following Diddy since probably even before I came on YouTube. Like following some of the stuff that happened, like when Kim Porter died, I really start digging into Diddy. Like, because that never set well with me, right? And
No, not a
so
healthy woman dying like that.
this whole
Mhm.
situation just is crazy to me. Y'all, we still got what, 4 more weeks of court left?
Is it that much? Because they did say AIDS. I
They
thought
said
they
that
could.
they
Oh, thought they could end as early as 6 weeks. So
well, their
did they
hope
say
is
how
to
many
be
more the
done.
government has?
I don't know. Last week I think the government had what, 3 more weeks. So they got
What
about
do you
two
think
more weeks.
about? What do you think about the judge fussing about Puffy or Diddy, whatever he calls himself, how he's interacting with the jurors?
Oh, I I did uh oh. I did I did see that. I thought that was very interesting. Like you over there making faces at the jurors
Yeah, and
trying
I
to
I saw a
intimidate
little bit
them.
of
You
what
know better.
Gene Deal had this, like the way he described it, that he was looking at the jurors like, you don't believe this shit, you can't believe this. He said that's how he was, and see, he knows him and his mannerisms and stuff. So it was funny when he said that. It sounds so accurate. Gene Deal was like, he was looking at him like, you don't believe this shit. And so
Well,
Listen.
it
and
had to have
there,
been more because
and
the huh.
since I don't believe her, I could see myself doing that, like, cause I'm sorry, I don't, not, how can I say this appropriately? It's not that I don't believe the things that she said happened. I don't see her
He
as a victim.
Oh, he did that with the other under cross examination when Nicole Westmoreland was cross examined. I believe Mia. I think it was Mia. Where because Nicole Westmoreland did a really great job with the
Oh
cross
yeah, she's a
examination.
great. She did great at cross
Yeah, she
examination.
Yeah,
yeah
she
she's
passed.
she's
She good at
excellent.
her job. That's one thing
Mhm.
we gotta admit.
Cause I'm gonna be honest, before like with Mark, I know Mark, not to bash him, he's an excellent lawyer, but his cross examination was look more like a direct to me. So I was kind of confused, like, why are they doing this? And I'm just like trying to trust the process, but their methods of cross examination, I think Westmoreland and what's the YSL lawyer, Steele, I think
Still
they have the
blind.
best technique. Because when you, not to bore you with all this lawyer stuff, but when you cross examine someone, you're putting the words in their mouth. You have a control over what they say. And Westmoreland does that so well. With Mark, he would basically just ask a question. He's like, well, I'm gonna admit I don't know the answer to this. And that's rule number one. You never ask a question you don't know the answer to. I'm not gonna give you in a wiggle room on a cross-examination. I'm gonna say, just for example, you have a blue shirt on. I'm just gonna give you, you all the thing you're gonna be able to say is yes or no. You're not gonna be able to wiggle too much. I'm not gonna say, what are you wearing today, and give you a chance to elaborate. So that's just kind of example of the difference between cross examination and direct. You have to put the words in their mouth. You're gonna say, you were at the park the other day. That's how you're gonna approach it. And she does that so well.
She really does. She do her job
And
real
so when
well.
she was says she was just doing her thing, black woman, doing her thing, that Puffy looked over the jurors like, yeah, yeah. So I knew it because they were saying that, because it's so unfortunate not to be in there and there's no cameras, but the way it was conveyed over from the news, like, oh, he was nodding at the jury. I knew it had been more than just nodding at the jurors. He was like, his whole expression was like, yeah, you don't believe that. Yeah, so for the judge to get ticked off like that, it had to been a big deal.
The judge honestly been eating the defense up. Honestly, every little thing that they do, the judge been eating them up about it.
Well, I think he got annoyed with Brian Steele because Brian Steele was he was. I kind of feel like he was wasting time. I think the judge don't want this trial to drag on longer than what it has to. So I think they're irritating him because they're stretching out, making it last things last longer because they kept the a witnesses on it, like Deonte Nash, for example. They kept him on longer probably than what was necessary. So I don't feel like he was particularly helpful to them. They should just went ahead and let him go, to be honest. But they just kind of dragging things out for some reason. And so with one of those witnesses, I'm not sure who it was. It may have been Nash. Brian Steele, objection, objection, and and then the judge is like, "What now? What are the grounds?" Because if you notice, like
Right.
before, the judge wasn't asking for grounds for the objection. That he already knew maybe it was speculative, it was whatever. He just kind of went with it. But then he like, "What grounds?" Like, come on. So I just think he's kind of annoyed with them. But the thing is, what I don't feel like what else can they do? They're trying to be, sneaky and I mean they're doing a good some of them are doing a good job on cross-examination, but I just kind of feel like the damage has been done. You can make these people look bad, but it doesn't mean that the government hasn't met its burden. I mean, I think these people look bad anyway. I feel as though Jane Doe, she's a sex worker, I mean, an ex-worker, she is a gold digger. Yes, I believe those things, but I also believe her testimony. She engaged in something illegal. He was there, he facilitated it, and they met their burden.
Well, y'all, we got more next week. We got more next week. I think we left off yesterday where the government was still um doing their original, you know, what am I trying to say? Doing their original testimony with
Their
with
case
with
in, case in chief, I believe their case in chief.
Jane Doe. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, the direct. I'm sorry, direct
yeah, the
examination.
direct. There we go. The direct for Jane Doe. And then hopefully I don't know who's going to do the cross, but if it's Westmoreland or Steele, y'all, if it's Steele, oh, we gonna have a time because he gonna still gonna cut a rug. With
It needs to be one of them for sure. They do the best. The other ones haven't been so great, and not that they're all excellent attorneys. I'm not. I guess everybody have their own talents, and for me personally, cross examination is I'm better at that than direct. But they may be better at direct, so maybe those other ones. So I think they're all excellent. They really are. And then Mark at Nifalo, he used to be USA United States assistant United States attorney. I'm sorry. So he used to work with those were his coworkers, Maureen Comey, James Comey's daughter, and
Oh
Emily
wow, okay.
Johnson. Those were his co-workers, and I remember it was I believe it was Dante. I keep going back to Deonte and Matt Nash. No, it was Kaplan. One of them was saying that they not necessarily they you always have to prep your witnesses for trial, but and so Mark was trying to hit at that, like, what were they saying about me? He was like, your technique, they know his technique, they work, and he knows theirs. So I think that's probably an advantage to having somebody like Mark. He knows with Emily Johnson, and he knows their techniques and what they're gonna do. So I think he's definitely I kind of feel as though the mishaps that they've had, I think is because of Puffy, or Diddy, or whatever he's calling himself, because he's controlling everything, and some
Yep.
stuff he don't know what he's doing. Because when Mark was questioning someone, he was cross examining, he was writing letters and writing notes and getting it over to him or whatever. So I kind of feel like they're following orders. And he doesn't know he doesn't know how things are supposed to work. Let them do their job. And just like he had Mark out there before the case was even brought, Mark was talking about the baby oil and how he got it from Costco, and that was a huge fiasco because the Costco people responded and said we don't even sell baby oil. So he had Mark out here looking like a fool, but I think he did that following order. So I think a lot of Mark's mix has have been because he followed orders his client, and so I mean, you pay me millions. I mean, I'll go out there and say something stupid too, I guess.
What's the guy's name? There's another black guy who is on his legal team. I don't know if he's.
Is that the one that they said was shopping for the BMW?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I saw him go into court with Westmoreland yesterday. He had on a I don't know if it was yesterday or if it was a couple days before, but he had on like a blue suit. Um, and I was like, I didn't think I knew who he was, but yeah, y'all, we got it next
It's
week. So I'll be back on Monday for sure with week 4, day 19, 20, day 20.
yeah.
Um, so we're gonna see what the Jane Doe do. And yeah, y'all, just
They said she gonna be on as long as Cassie, right? Because Cassie was 4 days, right?
yeah, they said that they expect the government to finish up with her on Monday, and then the cross starts on Tuesday or late Monday evening.
Well, Cross is gonna be interesting. So, who's been objecting to? Because usually the person that objects is the one that's gonna do the cross. Is it still
You
that's
know
been
what?
objecting?
Um, I believe is still objecting.
And then how they've been doing the person that's the lawyer that's because
I
you
can
have
look
to kind
really
of
quick.
sign, with this 10 lawyers, you just can't have everybody objecting at once. So I'm assuming that's who they assign to each particular witness. Like they'll okay, still you handle the objections to cross. But that's really how it's been going. I think, yeah.
Yeah, if that's the case, then I think it's still.
Oh,
Hmm.
so I think they're gonna let him do the heavy work on the cross examinations. And the thing is, with Cassie, whoever did hers wasn't as effective. But the thing is, it's very challenging to question a victim and then one is pregnant. I mean, that's just yeah. That whoever did it, it was going to face a challenge because if you go too hard on her, then you're going to piss the jury off, and then make the jury mad at you. So I don't know. That's a tough one right there. I would say
Oh,
yeah, I wouldn't want the job.
well,
Hello.
I
Oh, go ahead.
I appreciate y'all's opinions. I'm gonna try to do this, every Saturday, at least while this trial is going on. Because again, I know everybody got a difference of opinions, and I respect everybody's opinions. I just don't like the overly sensitive and dumb statements and comments. Like, you know what I mean? Like what we're doing is understandable, but sometimes I think people could just be super, super, super like just weird about the situation. And I'll just be like, all them stupid comments don't be needed. So anyway, Thank you,
Jeff, you
ladies.
just want to tussle with me. It's okay. You can just say that.
We probably gonna
Just
be
say you want to
tussling
tussle
next
with me.
week too,
Just
honey.
say you want to tussle with me. It's okay. It's
Well,
okay.
I
Listen,
I appreciate your opinion, Tracy. Because the thing is, it's just good to have like non-lawyer opinions. Because really and truly, your opinion is going to carry today. People like you, and I'm around lawyers all the time, and we're going to have our opinion. But it's good. That's why I like coming over here to hear what other people think. Because a lot of times I don't think about these things. I look at how the law views it. But if I'm in front of a jury, they're not going to have law degrees. Hopefully. So, you have to be able to communicate with people on the level that they understand. And not everybody wants to bore themselves learning all the ins and outs. But I want to say, Chef Dun Dun, I love you. You are awesome.
Thank
I
you.
love your commentary. You are hilarious. I, I forgot I got to tell Carlos, you say what you said. I remember that was so. You say he cussed from his soul. I like to die laughing. That was so funny. But yeah, that's my buddy. I'm gonna text him and tell him that. And he's gonna laugh
Please
too.
do.
Huh?
Please do. Please do.
Oh yeah, he's gonna holler when I tell him that. I'm gonna tell his mama too. But yeah, where you from? I love your southern accent.
I am from Texas. I am from West Texas.
Oh, yeah, I'm from Alabama.
Oh,
So
really?
I
Okay,
love
come on,
I love I love that
Alabama.
swing. Hmm.
I said, come on, Alabama.
Yeah. Hey now. All right. You're doing too much. Don't make fun of us. But yeah, I love Texas and y'all unlimited homestead exemptions. I'm a bankruptcy lawyer, so yeah. That little bankruptcy
Okay,
joke.
come
I
on,
know I'm lame.
Greenwood.
But y'all have a good afternoon. I've
You
enjoyed
too.
this. This has really been a blast.
Thank you. I appreciate you for coming up.
Okay, talk to you later.
All right, I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. Tracy,
mm-hmm.
how you wanna conclude this? Because I'm late over there for El Teddy.
Listen, we gonna conclude this with I will be tussling with you next week. Once we figure out, how everything go with this witness and everyone else. I understand that that people are calling her a victim. I don't see it. But God speak to her. I hope she can keep her baby. I don't know if that's gonna happen with her baby daddy. But whatever may work out for her, I wish her all the best. Um, but that ain't none of my business. But yeah, so next week we will still be tussling next week. Cause you think anything gonna change my mind about that one? I don't think so.
I think I'm kind of solid on her too, and I think when the defense get up and do their thing, I think it's probably gonna make it a little worse for me. So
Listen, I tell people also like, look, sometimes do I know that we do things that are illegal? Absolutely, I do stuff that's illegal all the time. Um,
uh-uh.
baby, listen, what the way I be speeding and no,
That's
I'm
why
not
you that's
supposed
why
to.
you go up for Chloe.
Listen, don't do Chloe. At least Chloe be honest about her stuff. Chloe said, I did this and rat tat 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 tat, and this is what happened, and this is why I did it, and so on and so forth. I at least appreciate people for their honesty when they do whatever it is that they do. I ain't mad. That's why I tell people I don't be mad. You honest? Hey, what can I say? You did what you did. Boop.
Right, Lee.
Like
Baby, she braves.
listen,
Girl, I'm not even gonna
Listen,
repeat
I
that.
don't know why. I don't know why people act like I'm the only person. Like, if you really sit back in your life and you look at what some of these laws is, most of us do illegal things all the time. We just don't get caught for it. It's realistically we do, right? So that's just what it is. Now, most of the stuff is minor, small. It ain't that big of a deal. Most of it is you gonna get a ticket, but technically it still is illegal, technically, and that's kind of where I struggle with. Like, technically, I hear you telling me that he's giving her money and they having sex. So technically, she is a lady of the night. Like, I hear that technicality, but I don't care because I see ladies of the night on the street all the time, and I don't care about them selling. Listen, if you want to sell your body, to me, that's your business. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? So I know it's illegal, but I don't look at it and be like, lock her up, lock him up. Like, I, I, I think that's where my struggle is, right? But that could also be a me thing. Chef, when you see people who be on the corner selling their goodies, do you say lock them up because that's illegal?
I know what I say when I see them. I say I know you going to jail because there's a there. Listen, there is a street here called Harry Hines Boulevard, and when I first moved to Dallas, I used to work for
Harry Hines
drive
Boulevard?
time people, the drive time people, the car lot people.
Hmm.
And one day I was on my way to work. No, before that, somebody had told me, you also on Harry Hines, you know how you have like the ghetto strip malls that have all the fake stuff, you know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
Okay, so that whole street got all that stuff. They got like shopping centers with all this ghetto stuff, and there's like a whole street that's probably a mile and a half long, 2 miles long. It's pretty long.
Okay.
Anyway, though, I had never seen that in my life because I come from a very small town. I was born and raised in a small town. I had never seen this before in my life. But they was like, if you go between 6 or 5:30 and 7, you'll see all these ladies standing on a corner, getting ready to, selling their bodies. Now, the furthest I had ever witnessed that was on Grand Theft Auto, the game. Okay. I
Of
had
course,
never
it's
seen
true.
that in my life. I kid you not, one day I literally was at the light. It was so many women on this street. I was like, oh, y'all going to jail. Y'all is going to jail. I was like, am I really seeing this? Tracy, I kid you not. And to be clear, this was probably like in 2016, 17, but I had never seen anything like that in my life. Again, I don't come from no big city. I come from a very small city. If somebody hoeing, we know they hoeing because we know them. So like we I had never seen that
Dead
before.
to the
I was like, what in y'all going to jail?
see. Now listen, I see it. I don't even bother to look up. I just be like, you know what I mean? So it's like, but does that make it all right?
Yeah, when they was
No, but
walking toward my car, girl, that light was, I don't even think that light was green, baby. I was like, I booked it. I was like, I ain't, uh-uh.
not you breaking the law, doing illegal things, running red lights
I probably
to get
did, and
away from the lady of the night.
I probably got a ticket for it. It was probably one of them red light tickets I had to pay.
Oh,
'Cause back then,
oh.
they had them red light tickets, and it was $75 per offense. And if you didn't pay the ticket on time, they added another $25 on there. But they banned those in Texas now, so you ain't got to
Hmm.
worry about
Listen, I promise. Listen, I was just simply asking because I understand it's illegal. I understand that people shouldn't do, but I just look at it and I be like, whatever. That's like there be a lot of people who use different rugs, and
it.
I know it's illegal, but I be like, okay. The unhoused be up, but it don't even like cross my mind, and I think it's because those things are so minor to me that it's like that's like jaywalking, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like, is it? Yes, it is, but it's
If
gonna
you
be
put it that
hard
way,
for
we
what
do
you
be
do.
breaking the people do be breaking the law. I mean, if you're gonna put it like that,
You know what I mean? I'm like, people here,
I'd have
we're gonna
ran a
look at it
stop
and be
sign or
like,
two.
well, we're gonna look at it and be like, see me, all them people who be getting flued out, that's ex trafficking, and all them people should be going to jail. Cause remember when getting flued out was the thing to do. Oh, I got flued out. I got flued out. I got flued.
It was a trend. It was
It was the
definitely a
thing to
trend.
do. So all of them need to go to jail too. Cause that's ex trafficking. You take somebody from one place to another place, and y'all gonna get it on and come back. That's okay. Well, I mean, and that's my thing about the law. Like, it's so general that something that ain't even a big deal to me or you technically is illegal. Technically. So now what you gonna do? All you gonna arrest all them people too? Like,
Well, I
listen,
listen because
all I
I
know
most
is your
definitely feel like hopping on an aeroplane and going to see somebody. Yeah, I know. Listen, they better watch out.
listen. All I
Oh,
all I
and
know is
we'll talk about this more offline. But I finally got, I think, the full scope of the Lamonte. I
Oh,
think I got the
oh, all right, y'all. Bye. This was great. I'll be on his neck next week. Don't worry. Y'all know I just be here to aggravate his nerves. That's what I do. I just be here to vex his nerves. Because if you ask me, did he need to be under the jail? But besides that,
under.
I just like vexing chef nerves because it's fun to me.
Terry, I would appreciate being flued out,
I'm just listen. You can go to jail for that. That's legal. That's illegal. Hey, that's ex trafficking. You you will then be considered a lady of the
Because
night.
I ain't going to have sex. You can't get none of
Oh,
these goodies.
okay. That's what you
You,
tell.
you got
Oh,
to
that's
wait
what
a
you're
couple
telling us
times.
online. Okay, got
You
it.
got to
Okay.
wait a couple times. You don't get these goodies on the first
Uh-huh. That's what you're
meetup and
telling us
stuff.
publicly.
I'm not I'm
Publicly.
not I'm not no Harry Hines girl. I don't do that.
Okay. You
Okay?
sure?
And also I'm not a girl to hang out at the bookstore either. I
Oh,
had to. I had to.
listen, don't do my girl. Don't do my girl. At least she honest about her bookstore activities. Okay, don't do her. At least she ain't like somebody lying like they ain't never been there before for poppers. I was like, I know you lying. I know
And
you
he was
lying.
lying. He
Like,
definitely been there before.
what's
I
that?
run a light to get to the liquor store. Baby, listen, you got to get there before 9 o'clock. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? Well, I don't know
Now
where you at.
people in the chat still talk about the illegal things they do. Okay,
I
come
mean,
on,
you put it
baby
that way,
criminals.
so
Ew, ew,
you put
ew.
it that way. If you gonna put it that way, then we all done us a little something. You know what I'm saying? Because some
I
of us,
told y'all.
then got a couple tickets and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Some of us do. Some of
Couple
us
of
do a little
y'all
more than
done.
others.
But no, let me tell you. Let me tell you the other day, y'all. This is not funny. I promise it's not. Y'all almost got in trouble behind a bell pepper.
A bell pepper.
Oh, and I had to tell my niece the other day because she was like, "Do you smoke do you smoke that stuff?" And I was like, "What? Do you smoke that stuff?" I said, "I don't like the way that sounds." And if you want to know, I smoke very much legal THC, not illegal. I don't go get it from my homie or nothing. There is a shop up here, and it is very much legal. Well, it won't be legal after September though. Here, if
Listen.
Hot Wheels sign this bill,
Oh gosh, see.
so that's the only thing that I partake in, and it's legal. It's legal. They
Listen.
can't. Is this illegal? No, it's very much legal. And yeah, now all that other stuff they're stealing and stuff. But let me tell you about this bell pepper. It won't even like that though. It won't even like that. Okay, so what had happened was, y'all know you could buy your bell peppers. You could buy the three kind of, the three
Uh-huh.
multicolored bell peppers. But I was making some pepper steaks, so I wanted green, I wanted red, and I wanted orange. Is what I wanted. So as I'm checking out, because I always tie the bags together like a dummy, right? I always tie those bags together so that when I'm traveling or when I put them in the actual bag, the Walmart bag, it's just one bag. I ain't got to keep,
Mhm.
having a whole bunch of bags. So as I'm getting ready to put one of the bell peppers in, one of the other bell peppers fell out of the thing, and it literally fell as soon as I was taking it across the thing. It fell in the bag. Girl, that thing turned red and everything. I was like, what's going on? What's happening? The thing turned red, and y'all, them camera things really do work. It kept playing back literally what happened. And I'm like, the guy was laughing at me because I was like, seriously, like, girl, what do this mean? Y'all finna dispatch the police out here over a bell pepper?
That's
So,
right. That's
like,
right. Take them down for the bell pepper.
I
Take
was
them
like,
down.
and the crazy thing is, I hadn't even paid yet. That's how crazy it was. So I was like, what is going on? The man was just laughing. I said, "Nah, this ain't funny. Y'all scaring people with this." And he was like, "I think that's the point."
And we ain't even giving you the chance. We is not giving you the chance.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was like, "Please don't do that again." That was crazy. So yeah, no. Not you would have screamed laughing. No, I'm telling y'all, I was nervous. I was like, "Girl, what's going on?"
I
I
was
felt
nervous.
like I felt like it was a tornado siren up in there. Like, what's happening? Everybody looking at me. I was like over a bell pepper, girl. A bell pepper, really? And it was a green one, the cheapest one.
Wow, wow, wow. Not you about to go down for the cheap stuff. Wow.
Child, I was
I
like, oh
mean,
my God, this is crazy.
wow.
I
Not
don't,
even a steak to go in the bell pepper. No, you going down for the cheapest item in the cart. Yes, take
child,
them
to see the
down.
steak was at the house already, but that had me nervous. I was like, wait a minute, no, sir, no, no, no. He was just laughing. I said, no.
I've been left
I
too.
said the not so funny part about this is that thing turning red, and also the fact that they keep playing. They literally play back on the screen what you did, and I was like, girl,
Oh, oh. Not you just watching the green bell pepper fall in your bag over and over and over again.
that's literally how it just kept looping and kept looping. Child, literally, the green bell pepper is on sale right now for 48 cents. Let's be clear. 48 whole cents, not even a dollar. And
Not
child, I'm gonna go down for 48 cents.
listen,
Is you
not
kidding me?
not even 2 quarters. How dare you, man?
Child,
5 dimes? Wow, you just going that chef?
I'm, I'm telling y'all, y'all better be
Yo,
careful around there at that Walmart. It might happen to one of y'all, child. Don't fool around and skip some on accident. And don't double scan stuff. Or you know what I mean? Like if you got two elbow noodles and you
mhm.
scan one and you scan it twice, don't do that. Do not do do not do that. Yeah. Do not do
Oh,
that.
oh, oh.
Don't do that. Don't do that because they gonna get you if you double scan something one time thinking or doing it because you got two in the box. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
I'm screaming.
So we I guess we all have technically done a little something.
I
Yeah.
keep telling you. I keep telling you. I don't know why everybody trying to act. Look, I'm telling the difference between me and a lot of people is I don't mind saying like, yeah, listen, I done did X, Y, Z, and B. I done seen X, Y, and Z, da 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 da. And I look at it this way because da 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 da, and here's why. And I can tell people my perspective could be wrong because I by the grace of God, I've never had a like DV or SA incident. So my vision or coloring on could be very blurry, right? Because it's a naive space that I'm looking at something from. I understand the context of once you've lived something, once you've seen something, it colors the way you view other things. Like I
Yeah,
understand
that's
that
true.
in context, right? So it's like, but I've never lived that experience. I've never walked that walk. So because of that, I look at it a little different. Now, somebody cheating, oh baby, I've lived that experience. I've walked that walk. So I understand that part. And I'd be like, ooh, okay, we got a problem. Listen, okay.
Yeah.
Never wanted to date
My
a couple
college
because they
days.
messed up.
Terry, what you was doing over there in your college days, honey?
Listen,
You say you
listen,
hate weighing items. Listen, if you don't weigh them right, they'll get you in trouble now,
listen,
baby.
please.
And don't fool around and put something that you ain't scanning that in that bag. I don't care if you think it weigh. I don't think it don't matter what it weigh. I don't care if you get a 25-cent pack of gum. Don't you just lay that in that bag without scanning it?
Um,
I blame my 1 year old and her dad for stealing from Lowe's. Not stealing from Lowe's. Got outside and lifted her car seat up and forgot it was it was hardware in the car. We never scanned it. LOL. Well,
That's say fifty
okay.
dollars. Ah!
If you gonna say that, Lee, that has happened before with me too.
Y'all both are two criminals. Oh my gosh.
No,
Just
no,
might be a Rico.
no,
Y'all running
no,
the
no,
criminal
no,
enterprise. It's a
no.
Rico. Was
Listen,
it at the Home Depot too?
no, it wasn't at Home Depot.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh,
I'm ashamed to say where it was.
if you tell me the Dollar Tree, it's gonna be over for you. Oh, wait. Here's my confession happening in this chat right now. Oh my God. I can't with y'all. Listen, y'all is a bunch of thugs and gangsters, and I see it. It's okay. It's okay. Mixing liquors jump out of the dorm window. Okay, who are you? Okay, Terry.
Wait,
Y'all,
what Terry say? Let me see. Hold on, this color.
y'all.
Mixing liquor, jumping out of the door window.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Listen,
baby, y'all was doing some things back in the day.
listen.
Y'all was
All
doing
I'm,
some things back in the day.
listen.
No, it wasn't Dollar Tree. It wasn't Dollar Tree.
I'm just simply saying.
It wasn't Dollar Tree. It may have been $1, but it wasn't a Dollar Tree. Pouring liquid detergent to the now Terry, I
Ooh,
don't blame you. I do that to this day. Sorry, do you ain't finna fill that thing halfway up for $15. You done lost your mind. No, ma'am. Mm-mm.
I'm just
No, still
saying.
do. And for what do you call it? The fabric softener. Y'all lost your mind. Y'all want somebody to pay $15, $16 for all these loads of laundry. Something talk about, yeah, we have a few more loads up in here. No, you don't. You got less loads up in here. But guess what? By the time I get through with this bottle, we're gonna have more.
I cannot with you. Listen, I'm just simply saying that that's why I look at things from a little bit of a
I'm glad.
different perspective.
I'm glad Simply Lemonade. I'm glad Simply Lemonade fell all the way up to the top. Sure do. I'm glad because the people be mad to my why the seal broke off the top of this lemonade. Well, baby, I just topped mine off because it wasn't full all the way to the top.
I just top mine off.
The people would be mad. Why is my little full top popped off? Oh, because I was filled up my other jug. I'm getting my money's worth, my $2.97 worth. Don't play with me. Oh, and I wish you could do it for bags of chips. That's what I wish you could do it for.
I agree.
Baby, them chips needed.
Because what I don't understand is potatoes are still cheap. So why on earth is the bag
Oh
going
my
down? I
God.
don't
A
understand.
family pack of Doritos is $8. Why?
Listen,
And you only fill up a fourth of the bag. Why? Why? Why?
listen, I got me a mandolin. I was like, I think I might start making my own chips. It can't be this hard. I gotta
Oh
figure
yeah,
this out.
it's pretty easy. Somebody told me to make my own chips the other day. I just didn't feel like buying the oil and actually making the chips, letting them dry out a little bit. Like I didn't have time for all that. So I was like,
Listen,
I'd rather just buy some.
we all getting charged. Listen, y'all, it's a criminal enterprise. I hear it's enterprise. It's an enterprise. It's an enterprise. I see it.
Disorganization. I
There we
can't.
go. There we go. Y'all going down. Down.
Oh, well, there's another thing, unfortunately. Well, this is not unfortunate. Well, have any of you guys ever, that's how I word this thing. Have any of you guys ever, have y'all ever, I ought to be ashamed for this, but have you ever took the price tag off of one put it on the
Let me move that clearance sticker over to this one. Like, how dare you? I need to clearance it by cent. That's okay. Listen, these cent boosters is now $9.99.
baby, baby, take that yellow sticker off in Walmart. Baby,
Listen,
you got some steaks over here got with a chicken leg.
listen. I'm just simply
Steaks
saying.
with a chicken label is hilarious, honey. Okay, anyway, y'all, listen. I'm gonna get off of here. We had a store called Zyre. Is that how you say it? I price changed all of them time in my college days. Listen. I think y'all just had it on the wrong one. That's all. I just fixed it for y'all. That's it. Just did your job for you. I
Shoot, I
just
should get an employee discount. I don't know what y'all talking about.
right. I helped you out over here. You know, it was on the wrong one. I do it all the time. Everything I got uh to the cash with either a yellow or red tag about yeah. Listen, Silly Saturday starting in a few minutes. I was looking over here. I'm over here in the
Oh,
chat waiting. Oh, he
oh,
changed the time. Good. I sure was finna what's the name? Him DM him.
Lee, now I feel
Um
good. I'm surrounded by criminals.
feel good. Oh baby, let me tell
Oh,
you. I've gotten better. I've been redeemed. I've been redeemed.
uh-huh,
Uh-huh.
uh-huh.
I have sinned. My last confession was oh come on, give me one more confession. Give me one more.
I can't with
Give
y'all.
me I'll take one more confession. One
Oh,
more.
look here.
Ooh, right, that thug life. Now we was sitting up here laughing at that man from Alabama that went to jail behind that stealing that $20 what was it? Some headphones.
Mhm.
He went to jail for stealing some headphones. He got in trouble for stealing some headphones, some $20 headphones. He talking about he forgot they was in the basket. Ooh, y'all remember those school bus trips? Yes.
Sure do,
Oh
sure do.
Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I can't wait. Let's see. I remember. Oh, I was bad on that bus. I used to open that emergency exit door while the bus was moving.
Need a little
Sure.
air.
Oh, I was
It be
bad,
hot.
Taylor. I ain't gonna hold you. I woke up, you know, in my heydays, but then, baby, I was bad. I used to open, especially when we had Mr. Campbell driving our bus. Mr. Campbell was an old black man, and he started off having a bus monitor, but the bus monitor quit because we was too bad. So, yeah, I sure did. I used to open that emergency exit door, and then when our bus driver would get off of the bus to make sure everybody was getting on the bus, I used to lock him out of his own bus. But you know, they got to do is pry the doors open. But we used to hold the little thing back so he couldn't open. Ooh, it was bad back then,
Mhm.
man.
Mhm.
Hey, Catherine, Devin Keith, that's his name. That's it. That's it. I went to McDonald's for a sweet tea only, and they gave me a big ass bag of food. I drove off.
Did you
You
even get
tell
your
me.
sweet tea? You said, fuck it, let me we good.
Baby,
Oh,
not you drove. Not you drove out with them. Not you drove out with them people food. I made my own meals at BK, no employee discount. Cause you used to work there, baby. I used to hear my manager up at Chick-fil-A about that food. I was like, y'all ain't gonna do nothing but throw this away. He was like, but you cannot take it home. Shit, you never worked till close, baby. On Saturdays, I took all the Chick-fil-A home. I used to
Andrew,
take I used to
it's a
take some of that
criminal
raw chicken
enterprise.
home. I used to take some of that raw chicken home and go home and fry it the next day.
Andrew, you walked into a criminal enterprise, okay? All I simply said was, everybody that broke something last minute, some little cry back in the day, and then the floodgates open, and now I realize it that I'm with a bunch of criminals.
Ray
People just
Bishop,
be running red lights.
Ray Bishop said, I've done it, didn't complain about what was
Not you complaining about the
oh my God, it wouldn't even be your bag. But I mean, you had right to complain because you didn't get it right. Oh, I've done it at Pizza Hut before. I knew good and well I hadn't ordered no 5 pieces. I only ordered 1. But they would rather put the ticket in between the wrong boxes. She said, Don, me, I know good well I ain't ordered no 5 pieces, but I walked out of that day with 5 pieces. We ate pizza for quite a time. Did because who orders this? Did you eat that order?
I just need all of y'all to know. No, all criminals.
Oh my God.
Criminals. All of
Lee, that is hilarious, baby. You said McDonald's. That took me for a key. Oh my God. Not you
all
drove out them people food.
criminals. All of you, just criminals. Criminal
I have
enterprise right here.
now what you got to say about people who know good and well they ain't order no Uber Eats and the Uber Eats driver deliver it at the wrong address or something like that. Okay, I'll tell y'all what happened. One night, honey, I had like a gift card on Uber Eats, right? And I had ordered all of this Whataburger. I just was so ready to eat, y'all. I was so ready to eat. Well, why they took it over there to my neighbors? I don't trust them, okay? Because they walk around here. Well, she used to. I think that cat died, but she used to have her cat on the dog chain. Okay, she used to have a cat around her, and I'm not talking about no leash. I'm talking about a chain. Okay, I really think that cat went on to be with the Lord, and that probably was his best bet. But she was not treating him right. But anyway, took my food over there, y'all. Mind you, this was like in the middle of the day. Do you know them people gonna come over here the next day talking about, I think you ordered Whataburger because we didn't do this. Sir, where's the food at? There's nothing in that bag. Sir, you ate our food and then came over the next day talking about I think you ordered Whataburger. Boy, go to hell. I was mad that night. All right, y'all. Listen, we have to get up out of here. Tracy, I appreciate you coming up here. Child, we used to not me starving in college and I was gonna be late and was broke. Not I developed a limp in my walk up the handicap. Oh my God. Y'all is something else. I was quiet, I minded my business, and that didn't give her the right to bully me. Wait, I missed
Oh
something.
no. Oh yeah, you did. You did. Go back up to Terry. Oh, you missed something. Terry a gangster. Certified.
I put Nair in my bully shampoo collar. Oh.
Certified gangster. Certified gangster. What?
Oh,
Diddy
Terry.
what?
Well, see here. Listen, I'm a Capricorn, and we do get you back. Oh, we get you back. It could either be when you committed the act. It could be a year from now, but I'm gonna get you back. Oh, I'm gonna get you back. That sounds like something I would do.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So I just want all of you criminals to realize that, you can't judge. So when I said I understand what they was doing. Like technically it's a crime, but is it really a crime though? Is this man giving you money for your box? Is that really a crime? I mean, it sounds like even swap ain't no swindle. I mean, it really sounds like a fair exchange ain't no robbery. I mean, you got something, I got something, and each of us was happy with the deal. And then when you didn't give me what I wanted to pay for, I stopped paying. That makes perfect sense to me. It don't. I was confusion. I was like, I thought that's how selling your box worked. But I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Fortunately for me, I've never lived that life. I should ask Chloe. I mean, that's what I'm gonna do.
I cannot. All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna direct y'all. If y'all watch El Teddy, he has started his live, honey. So as soon as we get done over here, it's gonna go right over there. I appreciate y'all. This ended up being the key. It ended up being the key. I appreciate y'all. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And we'll be back on Diddy starting on Monday. All right. Talk to y'all later. And Tracy, I'm about to DM you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.